So, Mark, did you know when they were building the Bellagio that those pedestrian bridges over Flamingo Road were supposed to be tunnels that actually went under the road between Bally's, the under construction Bellagio, and Caesar's Palace? But there was too much bickering going on and they couldn't agree to it. So the county said bridges instead. Found that out this week. I didn't
So,
even know.
so Tesla Loop just ripped off Bellagio back in the day.
There
That's
you
what we
go.
came up with.
There you go. That the shortest tunnel there. But yeah, that's the case. I was like Googling about, some of the famous tunnels under Vegas that some of the homeless people live in. And I found these old articles from the 90s. Basically, Bellagio is under construction. They said they designed the whole entrance for these tunnels and they had to go back and redesign it because the county said, you guys are fighting too much. The tunnels are more expensive. We're just going to build the bridges. The rest is history. There you
Tunnels
go. A
would have
little
been
piece.
better, I think. Stay outside of the heat. It would have been awesome. It could have been like Montreal, where everything's underground and tunnels, and you just never go out in the heat. You just go from casino to casino. That's what they should have done. See,
The
they
Vegas that
failed.
could have been. The Vegas that could have been. All right, Mark, let's get into the show. We have a great show for you today. We're going to talk about all kinds of cool news and interesting things around Las Vegas. If you like the channel, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down there, smash the thumbs up button. We want to discuss all of this stuff with you. You can also find our MTM Vegas podcast, all of our posts, and our videos at mtmvegas.com. Last week on the show, we forgot to thank everybody who came out to our meetup. We did talk about it on the podcast, but we wanted to make sure to say it on the video show, right, Mark? Three Sheets Craft Beer Bar hosted us. They was an amazing venue, great outdoor patio, and we met so many awesome people. I think like 20, 25 people were there. Really fun to meet everybody. Thank you so much to everybody who came out, and thanks to Three Sheets Craft Beer Bar for hosting us.
Yeah, it was a cool outdoor area. They had like an outdoor patio, and then they had a separate section. They had seating with fans outside, and then an upstairs bar area. So there's quite a bit going on there. The actual bar area is a little bit smaller, but you have a lot of areas to go after you get your beer. And they had like 25 beers on tap and wine and all kinds of stuff. So, and I finally got to taste a little bit of the arts district. We bar hopped a little bit afterwards. So it was really cool to meet everybody, hang out for a couple hours and check out a spot I haven't been to before. So, I thought it was amazing. It was a good time.
So, Mark, the other big news of the week is the Cosmo sale. We did a whole video on the channel already talking about our thoughts on it, what we think is good and bad, what that will mean for Las Vegas. We also talk about it extensively in our live stream that we did with Bethany from Bougie Miles. So people can check that out if they want a longer form thing. But in 30 seconds, what are your thoughts? Good or bad?
Bad. Period. End.
All right. Too many. I think we both agree too many hotels and casinos under the control of two brands, Caesars and MGM. That's our concern. But check out the full video. It's just 10 minutes. We'll talk about not only what we think, but what it means, what you should think about as far as changes coming, all of that stuff. Check it out.
Get ready
Here
for
on the
dirty
channel.
rooms that don't get vacuumed. There you go. MGM
Oh, I
bringing
hope
it to
not.
you.
All right, I hope not. Now, there was some other really terrible news this week, Mark, and this is very serious. I need to get my tone serious here. Manneken Pis was taken down from his altar up there on the fountain. Not just taken down, but brutally pulled down by party goers in
It was
downtown Las
definitely
Vegas.
pass interference for sure. They
Oh
they
my
hit him
God.
before the ball was
I
in the
will
air.
I will give Vital Vegas credit. He did a version of that video with the Benny Hill music, so like the do 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 do, yeah, that
But
stuff.
like,
So
is this like what's up with Derek Stevens and not bolting things down? Like, we talked about back several months ago when I was at the Legacy Club at Circa and how the fire pit like tilted and wasn't bolted down or secured, and we almost like burned alive. And then you have this mannequin that basically she was just like kind of like leaning on it, and it just tumbled right down. So it's like, can we get some some strength bolts put into the ground around here? Do you guys not know how to put concrete around things to hold it up? I don't know what's going on.
why are you going to insult our concrete skills here in Vegas?
Maybe it's like
No.
half sand mix. I don't know. Too
I
much
think
sand?
I think that wasn't the first person to ever get up there and dance and pull on him, and I just think over time it probably weakened because it was bolted down. And I have noticed people messing around with that before, and others have said that they claim $200,000 in damage, so that's a lot. I mean, it's a full statue. Manneken Pis, one of my favorites to go view. Of course, it's a copy or a replica of one that's in Brussels, the original Manneken Pis, which is like 600 years old or something. So
And
it's a
it's
little bit
down
of
like a
culture
weird
in
alley.
Vegas. But hopefully
Well, this one's
Manneken,
easy to find.
yeah, hopefully he can come back soon, and that they find the people who did it. Although I doubt they will, and it just seemed like a group of people looking to have fun. I don't think that they meant to, but they certainly ran away
I lo-
like a like a scared
no,
group of people.
I love how like at the end of the video, like as soon as it happens, everybody just like calmly walks away, like, oh, nothing to see here, nothing happened. And like the exact same way everybody walks away when anything bad happens. They all look around like, did anybody see it? Okay, walk normal. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it had to make it quite a noise, right? I mean, that's
You would
it's a
think.
pretty robust. It's not hollow, right? So yeah, I don't know, but hopefully they can find out who did it. Hopefully he'll be back and they'll reinforce his thing. Unfortunately, I'm guessing that they're going to put some sort of a barrier around there to keep people out. So it might ruin some of the sight lines, but hopefully he'll be peeing again soon.
Yeah, wasn't it Circa that had like a bus stolen from the Legacy Club that they had to go find like down on Fremont? Like somebody just took one of those the heads of like
Oh
famous
yeah,
Vegas people and like ran down Fremont with it, and they found it at like some hotel later on.
I vaguely
Uh,
remember that. Yeah.
yeah, it
Oh
was
my
like
god.
early this year, I think.
Poor.
It comes in threes. Derek, watch out! It comes in threes. Something
You better
else.
reinforce those bolts and glue everything down.
Something.
Get it all there. All right. Well, there's some good news on the gambling side this week. So kind of switch gears here. I know a lot of people are upset every time you see these taxable winnings. Right, the limit is $1,200. Then you get taxed on it. That limit has been in place since 1977. So it's been the same. Obviously, inflation is. I mean, that's 40 some odd years ago. Pretty crazy. So the Congressional Gaming Caucus, including Dina Titus and others, have told the Treasury Department that they need to get along. They're supposedly reviewing it, and they're supposed to change the rules here, but they haven't done it yet. There is pressure to do it. So it's good news. So perhaps on the horizon, those taxable winnings will be a little bit different. And maybe they'll actually peg it to inflation, so it's a changing number, so they don't have to do this again. But I know, especially for people who play like high limit slots, like every single win could potentially be taxable. And like places like Cosmo, they have an automated system where you can put your stuff in, so you don't have to get a hand pay. But in most casinos, it's a hand pay, so you have to wait for the person. It's a hassle. Not to mention the fact that they're sending it to the IRS. So hopefully this changes.
Which is I always thought it was weird because you could play table games and win 4 or 5 grand and they don't say anything or stop you or give you any forms. I mean, if you have like a big progressive win or something like that, they'll hit you with the form. But a lot of people win over $1,200 on the regular and never get it, so it is annoying for slot. Plus, they're having trouble staffing casinos, and they have these people that have to go around and do these hand pays and do all the paperwork and everything. So this would make it a lot easier on the casinos as well.
Yeah, and there's just no argument that $1,200 in 1977 is $1,200 in 2021. So even with technology making it easier, it's better to do it. I think the difference in the table games is if you win it at one. Well, no, because at the table games you could be betting and still win over 1,200 in one hand, right? And you don't get the taxable.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah. So all right. Well, hopefully the slot tax threshold is changed, but it's good news to see that they're working on it, and good on the Congressional Gaming Caucus in pushing for that. All right. So other good news in Vegas. We talked about the Luxor light coming back, although not as bright as it used to be. One thing that's been off for many years is the Spire, the lights on the Spire at Stratosphere, or I guess I'm going to call it the Strat, Mark. I'm gonna give in and I'm going to call it the Strat. So the Spire at the Strat has been off, but it's been turned back on. They fixed the lights. Another sign of good things to come. That property is great. I've talked about it not in a while, but the casino's all been renovated significantly nicer than you would think. Sahara too. So I think both those properties are really good. But the Strat is the Sky Pod, is that what it's called now? I think it's the Sky Pod. I can't do it, Mark. But
Yeah.
it's killing me to say all this stuff. But the Spire's back. It's an icon of Vegas. Good to see it.
Yeah, I've never really noticed the lights on or off, and I haven't been to the Strat, man, in like 12, 13 years. So I definitely need to get back down there and check it out. And I liked it back then, and it was always a place like when we first started like our first planning for the Vegas trip, Strat was one that always popped up for like 40, $50. So that's where all the young people would go hang out, and it had kind of a cool vibe back then. And it always seemed nicer than what you'd think it would be because of the prices they charge for the rooms and stuff. And then going to the top. We did the rides before some of them shut down. So we got to enjoy a lot of that stuff. And it is a cool, unique experience and something a lot of people, I think, forget about in Vegas. And hopefully the lights bring a little more attention to it.
Yeah, for sure. And it has, remember, it has that beautiful arch outside now, the Welcome to Las Vegas Gateway Arch right there. I think the construction's pretty much done. It's been a mess out in front of there for a while, but definitely worth checking it out. And it's good to see that beacon back up at the top of Stratosphere Tower.
Plus, isn't Slots of Fun right there too?
Slots of Fun's a little further south. It's near
Okay.
Circus, but yeah,
Okay.
it's in the general vicinity. All right, so we do have a quick update on Resorts World. Last week we talked about all the new restaurants they're opening. Of course, between the time we recorded and the video came out, they actually opened the restaurants, so we kind of look stupid. But Tacos El Cabron is now open, and a Fat Tuesdays is open out there. They're kind of these temporary structures, or not temporary structures. We talked about them being food trucks, but these not permanent buildings, kind of out on the strip frontage. They're not in that concrete pad that I had originally said. They're closer to another entrance, but that's open. The Mulberry Pizza is now open. I believe the Zook nightclub's open. So all those venues we talked about last week have opened up, and I just wanted to make sure to update on that since we didn't do it and show you guys what it looks like. So there you go.
Go get some pizza
good?
on a video so I can see what.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that Fat Tuesday though? You think it looks a little out of place sitting out there in the front?
Mean, it's outside. I mean, what do you want? You can get tacos and then you get your daiquiri, I guess. And it looked like from the screenshots I saw or the pictures that it kind of like was leading to where all the other taco places are. So they basically like park the trucks so that you have to walk by it to go to the other ones. Am I wrong there?
No, I think that's pretty much how you would get out to the street to cross.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, they're like,
I mean,
we're gonna put them here so that you just come here and get your tacos. Okay, thanks.
yeah, looking forward to trying it out. But good that they opened these venues. And also, there was news this week. Attractions 360, which is this is where my worlds of theme park loving and Vegas combine. But Attractions 360 is a big YouTube channel. They do a lot of like point of view videos of amusement park rides, coasters, Disney stuff. But they were in Vegas and they reported that a lot of the prices have fallen, like in the food court and everything else at Resorts World. So I think we may have talked about that on a different show, but just a reminder that things are a little fluid there when it comes to the restaurants, and it's good to see that the food court, the prices have come down, because every
Kind of crazy
report I
when you
get,
think about it.
yeah, but everybody says the quality is really up there in most of those places, but the prices were insane. I mean, like $20 for a dish. Now we're talking like 15 in a lot of cases. So just wanted to update you guys on that as well. And then we also have a Circa update. We had a viewer write to us, right, Mark, about getting
Yeah,
a
Ted.
Circa status match, right? Something we hadn't heard about before.
Yeah, he said they were able to match the Caesar's Diamond over to Maverick status. I haven't really looked at it to see what all that entails in Circa's program, but he said it's more like M Life, where you don't get a ton of perks. You don't get a free dinner or anything like that, but they do get free self-parking with the status. So if you have Caesar's Diamond and you want to park somewhere downtown, you might want to do that match and see if they'll do it. He said it's not, advertised or anything. They just asked while they were there getting a player's card. So check that out. And then, you can get free parking at Circa. The employees can't, but you can.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big perk down there, for depending
huge perk.
on what you want to do. And it's a really
Plus,
nice.
that's like the best parking garage too down there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a really nice garage to get in and out of too. So it's not just the fact that you get it, but I don't love those other garages in downtown Vegas. I usually park at Main Street Station surface lot, but then that's paid, and then you got to get it validated, all of that. So if I were to get free parking, I have to go down there and try it, see if it works. But good to know that he got it. And if you guys have any reports on that, if you try it, let us know. Let us know in the comments or email us, Mark or Shawn at milestomemories.com. Let us know if it works for you guys as well. But good to see that they're doing that. And yeah, so they have 3 levels in their program. The mid tier is Maverick. The top tier, Mark, what do you think they call the top tier in their players club at
Oh, Maverick Goose.
No, legend.
Come on,
Legendary.
Top Gun reference. You didn't even pick up on it.
No, I know. I didn't. It's that movie. We're still waiting for the movie to come out, aren't we? I mean,
The second
what is
one,
it?
yeah. I think it's
been
coming soon.
Like 3 years, they keep delaying it.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. All right. So next thing, we go from Circa to the other great sports book in town, or the other, sportsbook that everybody loves, the Superbook. Westgate, over the course, I was trying to figure out exactly when they've done this. I haven't been down there recently to see it. They just installed an upgrade to the Westgate Superbook that they claim is like the most robust 4K display in sportsbook gaming history. So I don't know. I guess it outdoes Circa's screen. It's 18.8 feet high, 260 feet wide. It took 5 months from conception to completion, and there are 175 different multi-views within that screen that they can put on. So 175 different things that they can show you. It looks pretty crazy on paper. I'll have to get over there to see it. But yeah, I mean, Westgate really stepping up to compete with Circa.
I've always liked that sports book. It's big, spacious, kind of like one of the earlier on Circa, kind of what Circa copied almost, but Circa is a lot taller and everything. But that was kind of the inspiration when you look at it compared to other sports book like at Caesars and stuff, where it's just these little TVs and low ceilings. So I've always enjoyed that one. It's another property that people overlook a little bit. So check it out if you haven't been.
Absolutely. And I'll try to get over there, get some video of it in the future, because I want to see what that looks like. And hopefully, we've talked about this, the circification of sports books. Of course, Westgate was kind of already there before, but these big screens, this is making the sportsbook experience cooler as at a time where sports betting is as popular as it's ever been. So good to see that. All right, speaking of sports betting, Station Casinos is in trouble. The Nevada Gaming Commission is going to hear a complaint against them for taking bets, and not just one bet, like hundreds of bets over time after games had already finished. So after the results were already known. And 348 times, to be exact, between May 31st, 2018 and May 19th, 2021. It stems from a memory error in their system. Basically, it gets overloaded if there's too many bets coming in, and then they don't get placed properly. Apparently, stations knew about it. They never fixed it, and they could lose their license, although I doubt that will happen. They'll most likely just get fined, but they are in serious trouble. I guess you can't take sports bets after the game is over. Who knew?
I wonder how many people lost. Like, did anybody lose on this when the game's over and they're like, no, give me the Raiders. Oh, the Raiders lost by 7. Okay, we'll take that bet. Thank you, sir. Lock it in. Oh, game over. You want to throw that ticket away?
Is in Nevada, can you place bets during the game like in other states? I know that they have all those prop bets that you can still
live betting. I'm not sure if they do live betting. Maybe they do on the apps now, but yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you're not doing live, I can understand maybe live betting and the game just ends. But if there's no live betting, then I don't know what the heck was going on.
People I really think it's
some scheme
I think live betting isn't allowed. That's what my understanding was, but I haven't kept up on it recently with all the apps. So let us know in the comments if they do allow live betting. But I'm pretty sure it closes off when the game starts, and they're not really clear on exactly how this happened, other than it's a memory error. So I'm wondering if just the bets aren't getting through there in time, and then they're coming through later.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Versus like betting when the game's over, they bet after the game started. I could see that. Yeah, so that's probably what they're talking about.
But even it doesn't matter. Whenever their system logs the bet is when it matters. So they're under investigation. The other thing I want to shame Station Casinos on is way back like 10, 15 years ago, they bought this casino called Wild Wild West on Tropicana Avenue. It's just on the other side of the 15 from the Strip. And they said they were going to redevelop it into this $4 billion mega project. Now they're trying to block the redevelopment of Tropicana Avenue for the same piece of land. As people know, Tropicana is a main thoroughfare. You have T-Mobile Arena right there. Just a few blocks south is Allegiant Stadium. That intersection needs to be completely redeveloped for all the traffic it's getting. And they own that piece of land that they say they're going to develop a resort on. It's called Viva Resort. They don't have any plans to do it. They have no timelines. They have nothing. But they're basically trying to block the redevelopment of Tropicana for all the traffic. So that's an ongoing story. They don't want Vegas traffic to be better, so that they have the ability to build a casino 15 years from now with a couple more driveways leading out. Basically, that's what they're fighting for. So I don't know. Doesn't make me happy.
They probably want a check cut in their name, or something.
Yeah. Not to mention that work is supposed to start like a month or so. So it's like we're deep in it. It's already been approved and everything's already done here. I think they're trying to get something, right? Some sort of concession or something for it. So we'll follow that. But that redevelopment project's supposed to start very, very soon, and it'll have a big impact on, in the short term, on traffic in that area is going to be terrible, but in the long term, to hopefully handle all of the traffic. And we didn't have this in our rundown, but this last weekend, Mark, we had 4 professional sports things going on at the same time. You had NASCAR, you had the Golden Knights had a game, the Raiders had a game. I believe we had a WNBA game going on as well. So Vegas handled it pretty well. That was the first time we had all that. And so Vegas really turning into a sports city. It was good to see that. And traffic, we didn't have a traffic nightmare like many had predicted, especially with NASCAR kind of adding to that crunch, which, that brings in a lot of people here. So it was good to see that.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see, when multiple sporting events happen. We have it happen in Detroit when the Lions and Tigers will play on the same day sometimes, but usually we don't get up to like 3 or 4. Sometimes there'll be a concert downtown, but yeah, 4 is a lot going on, but they're kind of used to it, having 2 festivals a couple weeks ago at the same time, 2 music festivals, as well as another concert and a sporting event. So I think they've got it down better than most cities would, because they already have a ton of events going on all the time. So they're kind of used to it.
Yeah, it worked out well, and I think it proves that whatever planning they've done to facilitate all these events is worked fairly well, and people are coming back. These weekends are packed. I mean, as far as what I'm seeing on the Strip, we're seeing room rates. Weekends not a good time to come, especially if there is a Raiders game. Those prices are going crazy. So keep that in mind. Through the end of the year, it seems like things are fairly busy on the weekends, except as you get into the slower times in December. But the sports are drawing things, the music festivals too.
I wonder if, Raiders being there now and having home games, if that's going to kind of just destroy just leisure travel in Vegas for people that want to go in the fall, because, that's one of the best times weather-wise to go. It's not too hot, but it's still warm enough to hang out at the pool and everything. And now you're going to have to fight with all Raiders fans or opposing fans coming in to watch the game and just be around the NFL Sunday and everything. So, maybe that's kind of a negative that's going on now and will be for the foreseeable future. And, it's more of a struggle to go at one of the better times of the year, but something we have to deal with.
Well, no matter what, the Raiders are 3-0, so Vegas is happy with that. It's good to see them starting strong this year, even though apparently I read yesterday in the sports books, they're still like the lowest favored team in the AFC West to win. So they have the lowest odds of winning the AFC West, despite being 3-0. Of course, Kansas City plays in the AFC West, so that's probably why it's so bad. But that's going to do it for us this show. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about any of the topics we talked about. Don't forget to check out our closed casinos video and our Cosmo video. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
See you next week.